This is Mission Control Houston. You're listening to crews on board the International Space Station and Dragon prepare for opening the hatch. You're seeing Chris Cassidy aboard the International Space Station already opened the hatch to the pressurized mating adapter just below that hatchway you see at the center of the screen here. On the other side of the hatch is the hatchway to the International docking adapter. On the other side of that, the recently docked Crew Dragon. Vestibule pressurization is underway. This will equalize the pressure between Dragon and the International Space Station. Once it does come up to pressurization, it will take some time to equalize that pressure because of the temperature difference in the vestibule. Just take some time to stabilize.
Dragon, Endeavor, it's Houston, calling you on hardline now for a voice check. How do you read? Endeavor, it's Houston calling. Space to ground 2 via hardline now for a voice check. Do you read?
Houston, copy. Dragon, same voice check. How do leaders? Counting 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Counting 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Try again. Dragon, same voice check. How do leaders? Counting 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5.
And station Houston on 2. Everybody, we'll just stand by for a few minutes. We're going to try to raise Dragon by another means. Stand by. And Endeavor, it's Houston calling on Dragon to ground 1. We're trying to reach you via hardline. Just not sure if you're receiving it or not. Let us know at your convenience.
And Houston from Endeavor, we're hearing quite a bit of echo on the other loop that appears to be connected. It's unintelligible, but we do have you loud and clear on the Dragon to ground.
And Endeavor, Houston on Dragon to ground. Thanks for that. Very helpful. We'll take a look, and we have you loud and clear on Dragon to ground as well. So we're gonna continue to work it and try to give you a call back in the next few minutes on hardline.
This is Mission Control Houston working through the steps to pressurize the vestibule. We did have confirmation that vestibule pressurization was underway. We do have power flowing from the International Space Station to Dragon after it docked for a contact and capture at 9:16 a.m. Central Time, 10:16 a.m. Eastern, just earlier this morning. A few other milestones to reach. We need good audio communication hard-lined through the umbilical where Dragon is currently docked on the other side of that hatch, providing now power, just making sure those hard-line communications are intact. Working through that as we count down towards the milestones of opening that hatch.
SpaceX Dragon on Dragon to ground.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and in section 1 of 4.400, the tablet state of charge are 66 for Doug's and 32 for mine.
Copy. 6-6 for Doug, 3-2 for Bob. And do we have your permission to come back on board with video now?
Yeah, go ahead and come on board. We just may have to take it down at some point, as you might imagine, but come on board.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Station Houston on 3 for Chris. Your convenience, but just an update on the comm status.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Chris, you've probably been able to tell we've run into some minor issues trying to get hardline established, so we're working that here, and we're going to be reattempting the comm checks as soon as we think we're go. I'll give you a heads up on that. And then regarding stuff, just get aheads, I was going to pass along to do the teardown from steps 3 and 4 in the approach monitoring, but I just saw it go gray, so have you done that already?
Hold on just one second. Which one was that? Maybe I fat fingered the wrong procedure.
Yeah, no, it's subtle. So it's in the execution note for Dragon approach monitoring. As we were monitoring Dragon earlier in the day, down in the execution note are the teardown steps.
I'm here in the cupola right now. I'll take care of it. It's not gray, but momentarily it will be.
Sounds good. And I'm also hearing on that we have done on the ground steps 1 through 4, so it's just 5 and 6 left for you in that teardown procedure.
Copy that.
hatch on 3, steps 5 and 6 are complete in the teardown.
Copy, Chris. Thanks for that. And just about to hit the button and reattempt the hardline checks with Dragon.
Okay, copy.
Endeavor, it's Houston calling via hardline. Voice check. How do you read?
Station, say again.
And station standby, Endeavor. This is a call for Endeavor via hardline. Voice check. How do you read?
Houston, Endeavor, completely unreadable. It's skipping pretty badly.
And Endeavor, it's Houston on Dragon to ground. We heard your reply loud and clear. Understand we're still broken. We're working it. Thanks for the patience.
We got you, Josh. That's exactly the case. Thanks.
Dragon FM, voice check. How do you read me? Counting 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5.
And station on 2 for Anatoly. Anatoly, we're hearing you loud and clear in Houston. We seem to have an issue still with COM 2 Dragon, so we'll just have you stand by. We'll let you know when we're ready to retry. Thanks for your patience.
Okay, call me on Mr. Ground 1, please.
Dragon to ground for a timeline tag up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Anna, we're managing the collection of the used water bottles and other items as well as our meal, and just looking to understand a little bit better how closely we're to hatch opening or another timeline milestone. We're kind of running to the end of the tablet here with meal 5 that started about, I don't know, 25 minutes ago or so, and so just wanting to understand how much time we've got in front of us.
In Dragon SpaceX, we estimate we are about an hour to Dragon hatch opening.
Copy that, Anna. Thanks for those words. It just helps us manage getting things done. And looks like you guys are on board. Welcome aboard, I guess, the integrated space station now, huh?
Indeed. Thank you so much. We're excited to be here.
Endeavor, Houston calling over hardline for a voice check. How do you read us now?
Houston or station from Endeavor. I'm not sure the location of that last call, but still quite a bit of skipping and unreadable.
And Endeavor, it's Houston, loud and clear on Dragon to ground. We heard your response, so we're in the same situation. We're hearing you, you're not hearing us. We have one more troubleshooting item that we're going to put in work now, so we'll give that a try and then maybe call it for the day. We'll let you know.
Endeavor copies. Thanks, Houston.
Endeavor, Houston calling via hardline for a final voice check. Do you have us now?
Houston, Dragon on the big loop, that was an improvement, but it's still completely unreadable.
And Endeavor, Houston on Dragon to ground 1, we're still hearing you 5x5. Understand it was slightly improved. Were you able to read me at all, or is it unuseful?
Yeah, it was a slight improvement, but it's still unintelligible almost every word. There was maybe one word that you could have sort of figured out, but that was about it.
Okay, thank you for the feedback. First time, obviously, and we think we're running into some interference issues, but we'll continue to take a look.
We copy, thanks.
Tak ja už som späť a všimla som si, že neviem, čo sa stalo a toto a vyzerá to tak, že jako mňa vytišťujem. Tak teraz to vyzerá, že ja som dačo zmeškal.
Just wanting to understand how much.
Cool. No. Všetko sa pripravilo. No, teoreticky.
This is Mission Control Houston. If you're tuning in to our coverage, you're getting a live look at the International Space Station Flight Control Room. You're hearing a lot of communications from the International Space Station, both from the space station side over space to ground, NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy, International Space Station Commander, setting up for the hatch opening. You can see a series of cameras scattered around, ready to capture the best views of Bob and Doug coming through that hatch. We did get confirmation just shortly that we did have good pressurization of the vestibule. It'll be about 10 minutes to perform a series of leak checks. Again, that pressure needs to stabilize. The thermal conditions make it swing just a little bit, so just waiting for that to stabilize before those leak checks are finalized. That underway within the next 10 minutes. We do have communications settled in the hardline connection between International Space Station and Dragon. You can see from the inside of Dragon now, the crew doffed or took off their suits, just getting a few things packed up before they eventually open up the hatch after that pressurization is equalized between Space Station and Dragon.
Tak teraz všetko vyberajú, myslím, a teraz niečo čekneme. Čakám, čo kúkate. Môžete písať disko, otázky. Viem, že nepíšete, takže je dosť diskusie. Hop, to je zlá vec. Spustenia. Počkajte.
Endeavor, Houston calling for a voice check over the big loop. We've retransitioned back to RF, so back to RF. How do you hear us?
akorát vyberajú veci a
Affirmative Endeavor, it's Houston. We transitioned back to RF because we still had the interference over hardline. So we're back on RF now and just want to make sure we had you.
We've got you loud and clear on RF.
Loud and clear as well. We're just going to leave it here for now. Thank you.
Here's a live look from inside the Crew Dragon. You're seeing Bob Bankin and Doug Hurley just preparing the inside of Dragon. They have doffed or taken off their suits. The pressurization between Space Station and Dragon is complete. They just need to perform some leak checks, make sure that pressure is stable before they actually open the hatch. Teams working together on the ground. International Space Station. From flight control room.
Natáčanie. Ukazuje ti toto na streame? Áno. Ak máte nejaké otázky, môžete napísať v chatu. 1, 2, 3. Buďte ticho. Môžete písať na Discord aj na toto. Tak nic. Mám technické problémy, prosím. No, čo so zvukom? Na chvíľku sa preruší stream, lebo to zase nedá viežať. Čo som vypol? What the?
This is Mission Control Houston. If you're just joining us, you're getting a look inside the Crew Dragon. That was Bob Bankhead seated on the right side, the pilot seat, or the Joint Operations Mission Commander seat for Demo 2. He and Doug Hurley, the commander of the spacecraft, just preparing the inside, putting away some trash. They just doffed their suits, and right now just waiting for the pressure to equalize between the International Space Station and Bob and Doug. Just two hatches, really, separating them from the inside of the orbiting complex. Aboard International Space Station, Commander Chris Cassidy has been outfitting Node 2. It's the first node. Once you cross over some of the hatchways, there it is. You can see some of the cameras positioned around to capture the crew coming in to the International Space Station. Much of that work completed at this point. Really, at this point, just waiting for good leak checks between Station and Dragon.
Station Huntsville, Space Ground 3 for Chris on the ISS experience.
Pozor.
Radar 3.
Hey Chris, we're not seeing good connection between the SSC-25 and the camera. We're coming up on a handover, but they're looking for a reboot of SSC-25.
Reboot 25, copy.
SpaceX Dragon on Dragon to ground for inventory.
I am here and ready to copy.
Okay, Anna, we'll start with location 9 from bag 203. Remove 3 water bottles.
Copy. 3 bottles removed from bag 203.
Good read back from location 10. We removed bottles from each of bag 207, 208, so 6 water bottles in total.
And Dragon SpaceX, you were pretty broken on that call, but I think I copied 3 bottles from each bag 207 and 208. Is that correct?
That is a good read back, Anna.
I copy.
For location 11, 1 dinner from bag 317, 1 breakfast from bag 315, and 1 lunch from bag 316.
There are several
I copy 1 dinner from 317, 1 breakfast from 315, and 1 lunch from 316.
Interested, but everything that was taken has been sent down.
That's a good readback. And location 12, 1 dinner from bag 321, 1 breakfast from bag 319, and 1 lunch from bag 320.
I copy 1 dinner from 321, 1 breakfast from 319, 1 lunch from 310. And am I correct to conclude all of this includes your consumption from the lunch that you just completed?
That's correct, Anna. We've finished eating, and the lunch we just completed is a good, complete list of what I've read down to you so far. The only thing we have remaining is the flush of the waste system here, and we'll do that with a water bottle and report when we do that a little bit later.
Copy. That sounds like a perfect plan. Thank you so much.
Okay, with that, that's the extent of our inventory. All else is per the packing plan.
Copy all else from per the packing plan.
This is Mission Control Houston. You've seen Chris Cassidy, International Space Station Commander, do much of the setup, but he does have 2 crew members on board, both Russian cosmonauts. Next to him right now is Ivan Wagner, rookie space flyer that was on the same Soyuz spacecraft that Chris Cassidy launched on from the Baikonur Cosmodrome just a little more than a month ago. Also on board is Russian cosmonaut Anatoly Ivanishin.
Zaraz wszystko zostało lite.
Breakfast from 319.
A teraz to wygląda jak kiedyś to mała grawitacja, nie? No, tak za chwilkę to jest. Za chwilkę. Uszczęśliwy. No, tak teraz to tam widzę jako bez Vidím tento leťák. Plus. What's happening? No.
This is Mission Control Houston. We are coming up on almost 2 hours since the Crew Dragon made contact and was captured by the at the International Space Station's forward International p.m. Eastern. Still working through some of those milestones, equalizing the pressure between Dragon and International Space Station, verifying some of the communications, and of course you see Bob.
Right. Wiem, że nie chcę skończyłam. Steve. Hops. Please, Bambotteno. Sito.
SpaceX Dragon on Dragon to ground. Do you mind taking the cameras down for just a few minutes here?
We will put that in work and let you know when it's done.
This is Mission Control Houston. You heard the call from Bob Benkin, Joint Operations Mission Commander of the Demo 2 mission, taking down some of those video feeds. We're still waiting for some of those milestones to pass before actually opening the hatch. The Dragon crew continuing to get themselves ready before opening the hatch. Chris Cassidy on the other side, just preparing some of the camera views, making sure everything's set there, done even a little bit ahead of time. We do have confirmation that there is a good data connection path between Dragon and the International Space Station. Some of those checks underway next. Coming up on 2 hours since docking at 9:16 a.m. Central, 10:16 a.m. Eastern.
Space Station at 3, the SOC's been rebooted. Any success?
Hey Chris, we see good connection between the SSC and the camera, and we're just performing the calibration now. We'll start recording shortly. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to help.
Dragon SpaceX, we have gone exterior with the cameras.
Problem z kamerami, akože...
Copy, thanks.
Boter. Áno, si to... Práce X. Congratulations. For demo to for DM jedna misia. Zobrane. Môže písať. Opravujú kamery, ako ja tu čakám. Kedy konečne sa to stane a oni tu opravujú kamery. Čo? Prečo? Ale som 4,5 tisíc ľuďmi. Majú problém s kamerami. Janičko.
This is Mission Control Houston. Again, you're getting a look at the inside of the International Space Station. That's NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy, commander of Expedition 63. Continuing to get some of those cameras configured for hatch opening. Many milestones already passed after docking at 9:16 a.m. Central, almost 2 hours ago at this point. At the time of docking, the International Space Station was on Russian thrusters. After contact and capture, was moved over to control moment gyro, stabilization and attitude control, now back to its standard configuration of thrusters and control moment gyros. After an umbilical connecting Dragon to the International Space Station was established, we did get confirmation of good power flowing from the International Space Station to Dragon. Dragon now relying on station power. We did get confirmation of good data transmission. And of course, the teams here on the ground, both here in Houston and in Hawthorne, troubleshooting some of the communication to make sure that is ready to go prior to hatch opening. pressurization between International Space Station and Dragon brought up to the same pressure, 14.7, the same we would find here on Earth. Leak checks are next to confirm the pressure is stabilized between the two vehicles. You see the hatch just on the other side of Chris Cassidy there. That's the hatch to the pressurized mating adapter. There's two more hatches once you go down that hatchway. One is to the international docking adapter, and the other is the hatch of Dragon itself.
Pinball. Not for Debbie. Wytworzenie hudby nie egzystuje! Nie. Nie. Tak. Kancelaria. Ok. Wszystkie systemy.
Thanks, Dragon, with a couple of questions.
I am here and ready to copy.
Hey, Anna. We show about an hour and 11 minutes since we started drying the suits, just to let you know that. And then the other thing is we can put 4.400 section 2 in work if you think we have some time before we get the hatch open.
We copy. You are go to stop drying your suits and turn off that suit fan at this time. Let me get you words on that waste system flush.
Okay. We'll shut the suit fan off now.
In Dragon SpaceX, we are about a half hour prior to hatch open, so you are go to do that waste system flush if that sounds good to you at this time.
Okay, we may give it a few minutes. If it's going to be 30 minutes until hatch opening, we may want to use it just one more time. So yeah, we may hold off for another 10 minutes or so. But let us know if anything changes. Otherwise, we'll do it then.
Totally reasonable. Sounds like a good plan. Thanks.
And Dragon Houston on Dragon to ground. We're still working comm issues. We're going to take down the big loop now. We'll maintain you on Dragon to ground. We'll call you when we have hardline back in place.
Stand by 1 second. Chris.
Dragon copies, Houston. Thanks.
Go ahead, Chris, or stuck into Dragon.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I'm just looking ahead at the PAO event, and I know it says video through the node 2 and space to ground 2 up and down. It would only take me about 1 minute to change back over to the encoder and go do comm the normal way that we do PAO events, if that's something that's preferred. It really is super fast, and I can get you that way, and that can take real quick if you need it. Later.
Copy, Chris. Yeah, copy. Thanks for that. We'll offer it up, and I'll let you know if we want to go that way.
Copy. Obviously not urgent or important, just throwing it out there.
Jako ważnie. Do widzenia na sobie.
Station Houston on 3 for Chris comm config.
Go ahead.
We just wanted to clarify from your last comments. We show it as being in the standard config, whereby you're going to be coming down over the camcorder HD mic, and we'll be going up over space to ground 2, and that's what we're intending. Did you maybe just? We might have missed your intent in your previous remarks. Is that what you had in mind?
No, I had, like we do all other PAO events, we talk, we hold the handheld microphone that is going through the clip-on mic transmitter to the clip-on, through the camera, and then the audio comes down through the encoder. That's how we typically do PAO events, so I could go back to that config if you need, super fast, or if you want to do it this way where we're talking on space to ground 2, that's fine too, I don't care. Just throwing it out there because it's different than we normally do PAO events.
Oh, it's my dragon. Oh.
Semi. And just to be clear, with the configurer now is the Node 2 camera is not connected to the encoder, as you probably know. So all I would do is just plug the cable back into the encoder and switch back over to the nominal Node 2 camcorder.
No tak pripojte sa mi.
Chris, that is clear. The camera needs to be plugged into the encoder. So what you're saying is what we need. We don't know where it got swapped up, but the camera should definitely be plugged into the encoder, and audio is coming down via that encoder.
Okay, so yeah. we'll just use it on the, I guess what I was thinking is going back to one without a battery and not be dependent on the battery, and going back over to the nominal cable, which includes power. I just get a little leery about relying on these batteries.
Gabby, we have Photo TV online, so we're talking to them on the phone right now. Stand by one. Station Houston on 3 for Chris. Microphone and the free float camera both connected to the encoder. Does that clear it up?
Okay, copy all. You want the free float camera, and we'll use the handheld microphone through the ATU. Copy all. No problem. I think I'm not communicating. No pun intended. But I think we're in a good config now, and I won't swap over to the nominal Note 2 camera.
Stand by, Chris. Station Houston 3, Chris. If you're still there, we think we still have it backwards. I see you look. Yeah, I see in the video now. So we still have PAO on the line. Sorry for the confusion, but I think this much is clear. This morning, we moved cameras. We swapped the cameras that were connected to the encoder. What we want now, we're getting video from the free float camera through the encoder, so that's good. We're seeing it right now. What we need, just relaying here, is your lapel mic. That has to go through that new free float camera, so that your mic connects to the free float camera, and then that audio comes down through the encoder. Does that make sense?
That's the config it's in right now, and that's all perfect. The only benefit, I guess, I didn't initially make it clear, is if I switch back to the normal cable and the normal camera, we're not dependent on a battery power on the camera. I just am worried that throughout this whole event, that all of a sudden the battery's going to go out. I go back to the normal.
SpaceX Dragon on Dragon to ground. Report complete with 4.012.
Benefit to this free float camera
Copy
is
complete with 4.012.
Take it all the way into the Dragon, which I don't think we could do with the other cable. So my thought was, after we do all of the ingress stuff and we switch gears to the PAO ceremony when we're standing right in front of the hatch, we could have actual power to the camera. But it's really no big deal. What I'll do is I have got a couple batteries on standby, and I'll just make sure there's a fresh battery right before we start that PAO event.
Okay, Chris, sorry it took so long, but I'm 100% with you and copy 100% on the battery concern. The word we're getting here is we would like to run it in the config that it's in right now. We copy all in the battery config. Great idea to have a few spares nearby, but we think it's going to last throughout the whole event.
Okay, copy all.
And Station Houston on 3 for Chris. With that out of the way, you have a go when able for your 1615 activity. 1615, that's your go for steps 3 and 4 in 2.102 Crew Dragon ISS arrival.
Okay, 1615 activity, inward.
Endeavor, Houston calling on hardline for a voice check. Endeavor, Houston calling via hardline for a voice check.
Loud and clear, how was?
Hey, Endeavor, Houston, we have you loud and clear on hardline. Great news.
Well, congrats. Sounds like we got it at least somewhat sorted out.
Affirmative, concur. We think we might have found an interference between C2V2 and the hardline system, but we're going to keep it here for now and proceed down the timeline.
Never copies.
Houston on 3-8, can you back me up on the PVT?
Will do, we're checking. Station Houston on 2, Chris, TPDT is good, you're going to continue.
Copy, Mike.
This is Mission Control Houston. You're looking at the inside of the International Space Station. What you were hearing before were just some of the audio and video checks, just making sure that everything's synced up so that we get the best views and the best audio possible for when Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley come through that hatch. We're working towards a hatch opening now. You can see Chris Cassidy down the pressurized mating adapter. That hatch will open up to the international docking adapter. On the other side is the Dragon hatch. Cassidy working through those procedures after pressure equalization was complete. Now expecting around the order of 10 to 15 minutes, maybe, until we finally get that hatch open. So we'll stand by, keep those views coming from the inside of the International Space Station to welcome Bob and Doug aboard. This is Mission Control Houston. You're looking at the live view of the inside of the International Space Station Flight Control Room. The team here, Orbit 2 team, led by Flight Director Scoville, is working through the intricate process of making sure everything is ready to open the hatch and welcome Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley aboard the International Space Station. It's been a journey so far to get to this point. More than 2 hours ago, made contact and capture with the International Space Station was the Dragon vehicle, the Crew Dragon vehicle, with Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley aboard, 9:16 a.m. Central, 10:16 a.m. Eastern.
Dragon FM, voice check. How do you read me? Counting. 1, 2, 1,
30-minute timer that you gave us a little
1,
bit earlier.
1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5.
Here, and then give you go to come back on board.
In Dragon SpaceX, you were pretty broken in that previous call.
Houston stations with ground 2. I don't hear Dragon.
I think you're being summoned by the Russian crew. In Dragon SpaceX, I was told to proceed with you. Can you please repeat your last?
Yeah, Anna, just wanted to double check with you to make sure you had copied our last and that we were still good on that estimated timer that you gave us for 30 minutes. It looks like we've got about 10 minutes left. So we'd like to pick up in section 2 of 4.400.
Checking.
This is Mission Control Houston. Chris Cassidy opens the hatch to the International Docking Adapter, 11:37 a.m. Central Time. Station and Dragon flying together, 267 statute miles over the South Pacific. This is a view from the camera at the forward end of Dragon.
20 minutes until Dragon hatch opened, and the A-Pass hatch was just opened.
Už otvárajú Dragon.
Again, 11:37 a.m. Central. The hatch to the International Docking Adapter was open. You see Chris Cassidy there poking his head in. That's the camera at the forward end of the Dragon. Now only one hatch separating Bob Benkin, Doug Hurley from Chris Cassidy, who you're seeing here from those Dragon views. Expected time to open that hatch is about 20 minutes from now. We'll report that time to you and expect to do a welcome ceremony at 12:15 a.m. Central Time, 1:15 p.m. Eastern. That'll welcome Bob Benkin and Doug Hurley aboard the International Space Station as part of the Expedition 63 crew. We'll get to hear some words from them and have some VIPs here in Mission Control Houston to provide words to the teams that oversaw the entire mission and the crew aboard the International Space Station.
SpaceX Demo 2, svoj Dragon mission to ISS OK. Takže ešte to bude trvať. Takže o 10 minút.
Dragon, SpaceX on Dragon to ground, comm check.
Dragon to ground, how us?
A little choppy, how me?
You are loud and clear. We'll put section 2 of 4.400 in work.
We copy all, thank you, and please give Anatoly a call on Big Loop.
Okay, we'll call Anatoly on the Big Loop, and I'd also like to report 2 bottles of water consumed from location 9, bag 204.
Location 9, bag 204, and to confirm that was for the waste system flush.
One for the waste system.
Chris Cassidy for removing that target from the A-Pass hatch docking interface.
Dragon, comm check on the Big Loop for Anatoly from Endeavor.
Dragon FM, voice check. How do you read me? Counting. 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5.
Anatoly, Endeavor has you loud and clear. How copy?
Copy, Houston. They have me loud and clear.
Good to hear your voice.
Dragon FM, how do you read me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. See you soon. Turning over to Houston.
And all players from Houston, that completes the comm checks. Thank you.
Copy.
Okay.
This is Mission Control Houston. Those comm checks within the International Space Station between the Dragon crew, Chris Cassidy, and on the other side of the International Space Station, the Russian segment, Russian cosmonaut Anatoly Ivanishin, completing those voice checks. You can see Cassidy continuing to outfit the hatch, just clearing the space and providing some padding and removing that docking target from the APAS hatch.
SpaceX Dragon, go ahead and Dragon to ground.
So I copy that the waste system flush is in work, and 2 more bags were consumed from location 9, bag 204, and that includes the water used for the waste system flush. Is that all correct?
From bag 204, one of which Bob is in the process of consuming, and the other will be for the waste flush. That is correct.
Perfect. Thanks for clarifying. And secondly, do we have your permission to come back on board with video?
Negative. We're going to need about 2 minutes. We're just wrapping up ops here right now.
Copy. 2 more minutes. We will await your confirmation.
Thank you.
Still getting views from the infrared camera that's located right at the center of the Dragon hatch, looking at Chris Cassidy, International Space Station Commander, outfitting that hatch, getting ready for Bob and Doug to arrive. You are hearing communications over Dragon to ground. That was Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley on the other side of that hatch, inside the crew Dragon vehicle, finishing up their operations on the inside for that hatch opening, expected in about 10 to 15 minutes. Again, it's been a process to get to this point. Just about 2.5 hours ago, docking to the International Space Station was Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley aboard the first commercial American vehicle to dock to the International Space Station with crew aboard. Again, we're expecting about 10 to 15 minutes to open up that hatch. One more hatch separating Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley from the inside of the International Space Station. Still looking at Cassidy doing some of the prep work for that hatch. We'll get some great views that Cassidy set up over the past few hours to capture this historic moment today. Be sure to stay tuned in at 12:15 p.m. Central Time, 1:15 p.m. Eastern. We'll start a welcome ceremony, officially welcoming Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley aboard the International Space Station to join the Expedition 63 crew.
SpaceX Dragon on Dragon to ground.
Go ahead.
Anna, you're clear to come on board.
Copy. Clear to come on board, and thanks for your patience with the comm. We are in an orientation that's creating some blockage to receive your comm on Dragon to ground.
Yeah, we figured that was it. No problem. That's part of the deal.
Chris Cassidy giving a wave, eagerly awaiting Bob and Doug to come aboard. Just behind him, you see Anatoly Ivanishin and Ivan Wagner, Russian cosmonauts of Expedition 63, standing by. We'll be able to come aboard Dragon here in a sec, get some views from the crew Dragon. We're in a short handover of those communications from the International Space Station. Video and audio should be regaining them momentarily. Anatoly Ivanishin in the foreground there. Chris Cassidy continuing the prep work for opening up the hatch there. Again, the pressurized mating adapter hatch you see there in the foreground is open. The APAS hatch to the International Docking Adapter is open. Just one more, and that's the hatch of Dragon, the Crew Dragon vehicle.
Houston Station, Space to Ground 2, station is ready for Dragon hatch equalization.
Station Houston copies. Dragon call ready when you're able.
Som tu. Akorát čekujem, či bude, lebo už otvárajú. Konečne otvárajú.
Houston Dragon, go ahead.
And Dragon Houston, just looking to confirm that you're ready for hatch equalization.
We are ready as long as SpaceX is ready.
Okay, station and Endeavour, stand by for equalization. We're putting it in work. Expected equalization time 4 minutes.
Bomboter, chodź do kancelariok.
Endeavour copies.
Już widzę raz. Nic o tym nie wiesz. Wszystko idzie. Musimy otworzyć a potom bude ešte otvárať sa ceremonia, čo dúfam, že budeme ešte streamovať, lebo to bude dole! A ešte raz si... Ok, všetko ide. Môžem len otvoriť. A potom bude ešte otvárať sa ceremonia, čo dúfam, že budeme ešte streamovať, lebo to bude dole! Ok, dá sa. Môžete písať do chatu. A potom... A ak máte nejaké otázky, ja vám rád odpoviem v čete, alebo môžete písať aj na Discord. A prosím, Bambotera, aby išiel do mojej kancelárie na Spacer servery, na ktoré majú prístup iba majiteľovia. A spolumajiteľia, takže ok.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're continuing to equalize the pressure of that last hatch. Behind that hatch is Bob Benkin and Doug Hurley aboard the Crew Dragon spacecraft. We are moments away from opening the hatch and welcoming them aboard the International Space Station.
A ďakujem vám, že ma pozeráte. It's mean everything to me. Copy. Čína má nekvalitné rakety. Čau. Čau. Baboter, bol si tu, viem. Bo si to čo napísala, ale ešte neviem kde. Tak. Baboter. Nie, tu nie. Ok, niekde tu je, viem tu. O, vážne? Ako vážne. Čo to za blbé upozornenie? Ďakujem. Ok, to je. Poď sem. Kto si, nech to aj tak ide. Ako? Ok. To nie je náhodou Dragon Hatch?
This is Mission Control Houston. If you're just tuning in, we are standing by for confirmation of the hatch opening between the International Space Station and the Crew Dragon.
Aká irónia. You pick up. Oh. Nič. Ako nič. Viete čo? Ešte zmečkám. Jenom no.
There's the hatch to the Crew Dragon. seeing Doug Hurley through the glass on the other side.
To jsem já. A čo plán? Ja som to zmeškal. Nie, to nie je možné. Aká irónia. Za také čo? Jupíka.
And there's Bob Benkin.
Aha, je tam okno. Prečo na to nenapadlo, že je tam okno asi? Ok. Mám pocit, že to je.
Still equalizing that pressure between Crew Dragon and International Space Station, just moments away. Crew Dragon and International Space Station, just moments away.
Ďakujem vám. Nič, ďakujem. Boter, ceň. Asi si bolo pokočenie. To. Počas, keď sa otvoria dvere v podstate, sú to dvere, ne? K tomu Crew Dragon Lock. Ďakujem, že pomáhate im. Ako dáme zachytávanie monitora. Tak môžete vidieť, ako to vyzerá.
Dragon SpaceX on Big Loop. You are go for hatch opening per the decal, followed by the remaining actions in your procedure 4.400.
Ja to budem kúkať na OBS-ko, to nikoho nezaujíma. Nie, tebe.
Dragon.
Hatch opening? Už to otvárajú. Czekajcie. Tak. No to dobry pocit. Колор зображення. Смотри, образом, то ясно. Окей. Ok. Je to otvorené. Look.
And with that, the hatch is open. 12:02 p.m. Central Time, 1:02 p.m. Eastern. Bob Benkin and Doug Hurley opened the hatch to the International Space Station after launching from American soil on a U.S. vehicle for the first time in 9 years. The first time ever for a commercially built spacecraft.
No, trochu som musela dostať dole, aby si to musel uveriť. Je to ešte uveriť, lebo ich nevidím. Že ešte do dole. Chci dole? Či čo? No, to. A, už je nevidno. Počkej. Vidím to co?
If you're just tuning in, the hatches are open between Dragon and the International Space Station.
Yes,
International Space Station Commander Chris Cassidy now talking with Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken aboard the Crew Dragon spacecraft. That hatch open at 12:02 p.m. Central, 1:02 p.m. Eastern.
Discard. Mám boter, mohl by si už přijít. Boter.
SpaceX Dragon on the big loop. The hatch is open in 5.5, 4.400. How copy?
I copy. Hatch is open. Great to hear. Thanks.
And SpaceX Dragon in 5.9, we're going to exit out of 4.400 and transition to 2.102 Crew Dragon ISS arrival through the hatch opening.
I copy. With that, I understand you are complete with 4.400 and will follow along with you as you transition to the ISS procedure.
Okay. Nie. Sekundę.
This is Mission Control Houston. The crew of Demo 2 just performing a few closeout duties. The hatches are open. We're open 12:02 p.m. Central Time. We're moments away from the Dragon crew aboard Demo 2 to enter the International Space Station. It'll be the first time that Americans will enter the International Space Station on a rocket launched from U.S. soil, built by an American company. The first time ever Americans will enter from a commercially built spacecraft.
Tak co robimy?
Station
Houston on Spacey Run 2 for
Tak
Chris.
rakieta,
When you're able, we're just looking for a quick voice check on the
Sirius
mic.
MS6, tak Dragon Demon 2, Endwriter, HTV9, Progress 74, Progress 75, Asus MS16.
Station Space Run 2, go ahead.
Chris, we were hoping we could voice check the mic just before starting the PAO event.
Okay, copy that.
Houston Dragon on the big loop in step 6.1 of 2.102. IMV duct installation is complete. Go for IMV fan activation.